Hello guys, this is Imran from Imstech, and in this tutorial I'll be showing you guys how to actually start working with cloth in Cinema 4D. So an example of this would be if I press play. Yep, so that's a little bit fast. I'll slow it down for you. Um, so this piece of cloth comes down, it hits the ball that's floating in midair. The white, by the way, is actually flow. So it kind of hits there, and now it's actually made contact with the flow. It drapes around, the gravity of it obviously just makes the cloth fall on the floor. Okay, so we'll be creating something a little bit like this, and before we actually get stuck in, I just want to say really quickly, my tutorials are made by me and I'm a qualified teacher, so go check out my channel. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, just to increase my view count. If you obviously like the video, make sure you share and hit the like button. I appreciate that anyway. Okay, so let's get started. Just to show you guys, I've actually paused it at quite an important part, and if you look right here, it's making contact on the floor. It's got quite a lot of good detail, um, and it kind of looks a little bit like Little Red Riding Hood or something. But anyway, yeah. So what I'll do, just to start off with, I'll delete everything. Well, not everything. What I'm going to keep is I'm going to keep the floor and I'm going to keep the lights. Okay. And I'll show you how I actually made the floor, because there's actually it's not as straightforward as it looks. So the first thing I'm going to do is click here and click on sphere. I'm going to just drag the sphere up, and I'm just going to resize the sphere, make it a little bit smaller, shrink it down a bit, maybe a bit more, and I'll just move it a little bit to this side so we get clearer lighting rather. And I'm just going to drag this material onto the ball. I'm just going to render it just to see how it looks. So we've just got this sphere. I have no idea why there's two black patches, but that's not very, it doesn't look good. So let's just move away from it, ignore it. Anyway, so yeah, so that's the first step. We've created this sphere, and the next step obviously is to create a plane. So I'm going to create a plane. So this is going to act as our cloth. So I'm going to move this cloth above, on top. So that's going to fall down. Let's try and actually have it hit the center of the ball. Again, I'm just going to put some color to it. So I'll put this red one. Just quickly render it just to see what it looks like. So that's fine. I'm happy with that so far. What I'm going to do now, these are the steps. Okay, so this is the important bit. First of all, what's really important is to make sure, if you want a nice smooth cloth, silky, if you want it rubbery, you just keep it as it is, yeah. But if you want it to be nice, silky, smooth, what you do is go onto the actual plane. So you click on the plane, and over here obviously you can go to object, on the attributes panel. On the width you can keep it 400 by 400 or increase it, but the main thing really is with width segment. Rather than 20, change it to about 60 each way, or 50 depending on how rubbery or how silky you want it. The more segments, the longer it takes to render, but the better it becomes, smoother it runs anyway. But yeah, so that's the first thing I've done. I've just increased the width and height segments, and you can see there's a lot more rectangle, square white pieces. Next thing I need to do is make both the plane and the sphere editable. So what I do is I right click and press make editable. You see there's also the C, and what I want you guys to notice is at the moment it's white, the plane. So if I click on make editable, it's become blue. So what I'm going to do is I'll just use the shortcut for the sphere. So watch the sphere, the lines around the sphere are white. I'm going to hit the C and it's become editable and it's become blue. So that's quite an important step. Next thing we need to do is add our tags. So I'm going to right click the plane, press cloth, and this is going to be the cloth tag. Okay, so I've clicked on that. Now the next one, the sphere, is not going to be cloth, it's actually going to be the collider. So again, right click, cloth tag, this is the collider. Okay, so that's quite an important part of this. So let's just hit the play button and see how it looks. It's going to take forever to render, because there's a lot of detail and whatnot, so that looks a bit, I don't know, weird. But what I want you to notice is it's kind of breaking up on the left right here. Just show you, it's kind of crackling up, and I don't like that. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to reverse this back to square one. I'm going to change the, click on the actual tag itself. So clicked on plane, and I'm going to click on this tag right here. So exactly where my mouse is, I've clicked on this like blue t-shirt thing. Click on expert, and then change this to about 10, 9, maybe 8, 7, I don't know. And also I'm gonna check Self Collider. Okay, I'm just gonna hit the play button, and I might speed this part up of the video, but once it's rendered it should be fine. Tick tock, tick tock. So whilst this is happening, what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna talk to you about the flow. So this flow right here is actually a plane, and exactly this what I did to the sphere, I did to the plane. So I made it editable first of all, and then I set the tag to cloth and then collider, because I don't want it to respond or act like the sheet of cloth at the top. I want it to actually be a collider for the cloth, so that if contact is made from with the cloth and the floor, it actually acts as a solid object. Yeah, so it's actually a collider. Okay, so let's just watch and see if this is doing something better. So you can see it's already got nice ripples. I think it's hitting the floor, so it's acting a bit weird. And you can see it's not going as rough as it was before. It's not as mangled and as it's actually acting as a self collider, so it doesn't go through each object. And it's, yeah, so that's actually how to solve that problem. Okay, what we saw earlier. I'm just gonna stop this, and what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna make one more quick change. Last time I clicked on self collider, I'm gonna undo self collider. I'm just gonna make this to about 7, and I'm gonna reverse this and play this, and hoping it'll be a little bit faster, which it should be. I can't see it that well. But anyway, so as this is happening, I hope you guys have enjoyed this tutorial. I hope you guys have learned something, and do make sure you subscribe, and do make sure you comment, rate, and whatever. And the reason for that is because okay, so we've got a problem here. That's because I unchecked self collider. Okay, so make sure you increase the sub sampling and self collider. And oh yeah, just as I was finishing off, make sure you check out my channel, and take care.